Welcome back, everyone, to the Forgotten Circus. So I'm going to be doing my spoiler review of Ahsoka Episode 8. Um, Captivating? No. Cinematography, special effects, really good, actually. Really good. There were kind of parts in it that kind of little off, but I get it. It's a TV show, smaller budget. But man, some of the cinematography is good. But do I think it's a great episode? No. Do I think it's an okay episode? Maybe. But we're going to get into it. So basically, I'm going to be a little bit all over the place. So please forgive me. Uh, it basically starts off Thrawn. You got Morgan Elsbeth and the Night Sisters. So she says we found their coordinates. We know where they're at, and with Ezra and all. I don't even know why Thrawn's even wasting his time because it seems like nobody knows anything that they're doing in this. All of a sudden, it went from everybody so stoic to everybody being, I'm just lost in the sauce, except for Thrawn. And even sometimes in his part, it's like, I'm pretty sure Thrawn would have thought that out a little bit more, but I'll let it go. So Morgan Elsbeth gets promoted. She gets promoted to the rank of actual full Night Sister, and they give her the Flaming Blade. It's basically a samurai sword, or with flames on it, that the Night Sisters give her. And they actually fully make her a Night Sister. So she gets black eyes and all that, and yeah. But you know what? Thrawn's smarter than everybody in the room, and he's starting to prove it left and right. He's actually starting to grow on me because he's like the only one that's close enough to making any sense in this. And maybe that's on purpose. So she gets promoted, then, and we jump to the scenes of Ezra and Ahsoka, Sabine, with the hermit crab people, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, Thrawn sends out some TIE fighters because they have the location now to go kill them. And then I guess both of them use the Force. Ezra and Ahsoka use the Force to kind of save the ship. I know it's going to be all over the place, kind of vague. I don't want to. You got to kind of watch it, but so and then I don't know where it goes. It's just all over the place, literally. So I did like how they're using the Force and they're holding up the ship. I did like that. And then Sabine comes through, crash test dummy, and knocks out the TIE fighters with the ship. I get it. It's one of those things that had to happen. That's probably the only way. I'm probably sure there's 10,000 other ways they could have done this. I mean, if you can hold a ship up, can't you throw a TIE fighter to the side? If Ezra's so strong, which we're going to get into, because this dude he's rusty. He's very rusty. Extremely. Right. I don't know what been doing on this planet, being a shaman, or I don't know, maybe he was taking up some type of farming. But this, they kind of decrease his power a lot, and there's probably going to be a build up to how far, but wow. Okay, so that all happens. So now they got the whole location. All right. So we go over a lot of dialogue between them, and it seems like we were all complaining about Ahsoka being too stoic, and now she's too friendly. It's like, you're too chill right now. I don't know. Did somebody give you a Prozac? I don't know. Kind of like on some. I don't get it with her now. But this is something that we did ask for. We want to be more friendly or more happy. But this is like, she just in a trance a little bit, but she does wake up. She wakes up. So we get into it, right? The big scene happens. So one of the big scenes, because there's a lot of things that are going on, and it jumps a lot, and there's a lot of stuff that happens on screen, off screen yet again. And wait, I got to get back into it. So the title of this is I'm just going to call it The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. All right, Filoni, we need to chill out on biting off of other people's stuff. Because what was it? I can't remember the title of it, but it was set up like Narnia, and I love the Narnia movies, but it's all I'm just going to call it The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. All right, because that's what it feels like in this. So, all right, so they do all that, right? So I'm going to skip past because I can't make this too long of a video. But so they skip past, they go, and then they're fighting, and Morgan Elsbeth, and then the Night Sisters. So the troopers weren't actually dead already. The Dark Troopers, why I keep saying Dark, they weren't actually already dead. They were actually alive. So that proves that point. Okay. So they send a team out there, and then Thrawn says, do they know what they're in for or whatever? And she's like, yes, they do. So I guess that red binding was a just in case thing, because Thrawn is super smart, and he's outplaying everybody. It's so obvious. So they send him, and I'm sure I'm missing some stuff. I do apologize. I'm just going by. I just watched it, so I'm just going by. It was so much to take in. So they send them down there to go after Ahsoka, Sabine, and obviously Ezra. So they get in this fight at this temple. And there's like a huge gap in between. Almost like this spoiler review. Pretty sure I missed stuff. But there's a huge gap in between when all of a sudden they just show up again and they're fighting again. And then but I have to go back to the Night Sister. Like, they're sitting there and they're like, yeah, we're using the dark magic. And then he tells Morgan Elsbeth that are they aware of what they're gonna get into. So they're going down there, they're doing the fight and everything. And they kill all Ezra, and Ezra is trash with a lightsaber right now. Oh, I have to go back to that. He did build his own lightsaber, which was pretty cool. But it's like, hey, why didn't you grab the lightsaber before? Because that's what I was thinking about in the last episode. And I was like, why didn't you just grab Sabine's lightsaber and do that? Sabine Wren is definitely way better than you with the lightsaber right now. I don't know how this dude is that rusty. You know what they say? It's like riding a bike. Not with this guy. It's like learning all over again. He needs training wheels. He gets a little better, but he's still like weak. And then my thing is, has he been training with the Force? Because like when he's been using the Force and stuff, it's been looking a little shaky too. I don't get it. But we'll move on from that. So they get into this whole fight and they're doing the whole thing, and then so they run into the next chamber. This is all in the temple, the compound, whatever you want to call it, the fortress. That's over there, the Night Witch's fortress, and then they got to go to Dathomir, and who knows anymore. So they get into that, and then they finally run into Morgan Elsbeth, and then she's got her friggin' flaming sword from Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, I've seen that sword before. And then Ahsoka's like, I got this. And then Morgan Elsbeth's like, yeah, let's do this. I got the Night Sister magic. Don't you want to kill the other two right there first? Like while they're running past you? Because they kind of walk slowly around you. And it's like Ezra just sit there and help. Y'all could piece her out so friggin' fast. And you know what? Somebody called it out too. Who said it? Sabine said it. It's the first like inspirational thing that Sabine has done in this show. Well, she's done a lot. I'm not going to knock her because I think I like Sabine. I think she's just miswritten a little bit. They need a little bit more tweaking. She's like, no, we fight together. She's like, no, I got. Ahsoka's like, no, I got this. No, kill this chick and move on. But I get it. We got to have this fight scene. It was kind of good. I ain't gonna lie. It was kind of good. So they go on and they're trying to figure it out. And then so you got to fight. Do back and forth between Morgan Elsbeth and Ahsoka. Finally, Ahsoka, yo, I will say that is one of that was like a fatality, bro. I'll give it that. That was literally like a fatality in Star Wars. Well, newsflash. I don't know why Ahsoka was playing with her, but she pieced her out pretty freaking fast. Right across the belly. So Qui-Gon, you can live on again and know that, yeah, there's different ways where the actual stab or slice will kill you and you'll become a Force ghost. So that made sense. Pieced her out. Okay. Pretty good. I did like that. So then we got the whole, I'm speeding past a lot of stuff because the video is getting a little long. So we speed past that. And then we got Ezra and Sabine. They're on top because, yo, Thrawn already got the word. He about to dip. Cargo's already loaded. He said everything's unfortunate. I did lose some troops. I did lose some. Because, I mean, he's been like, Thrawn he's a military tacticianist. He's a strategist. His thing is strategy. So I get it. He knows that comes first. But he's been on that planet with them for so long that he probably knows all those troops personally. Because it just proves they were still alive until the Night Sisters can use their magic. Which I think is going to be a big thing coming up. So he did feel, you could see some remorse. And he's like, well, it's almost like collateral damage to him. But he still does feel remorse. But I did like that. And Thrawn is starting to grow on me. Because he's the only one that makes sense. All right. So they're getting to the spot. Boom. And then stuff happens again. Ahsoka has to keep fighting. She keeps fighting and keep fighting. Did I skip that? Oh, I think it jumped too far ahead. But anyway, she keeps fighting. And then Sabina, she finally gets up to the top. Oh, that's where she killed it. I'm sorry. But she gets all the way to the top. And they're all there. And then basically Ahsoka's fighting all the way up to the steps, trying to get to the ship. The ship is now fully docked with the space ring, the Stargate. And then that's before. Yeah. So she throws. So here's my thing. Apparently Ahsoka can use the Force now because she was getting her ass whooped by that one, the one dead stormtrooper. And it's like, okay, you got your blasters. And all of a sudden she can like use the Force. And that's another thing. I did notice though, there's a part in this earlier in the episode when they're using the Force to open the door, Ahsoka and Ezra and Sabine. Ahsoka says to Sabine, "You help us out," and she's kind of like putting her hand out and using the Force, kind of like fake. But maybe she really was, because all of a sudden she is like Force sensitive. Rey loaded again. Rey 2.0. The Mary Sue. We got to stop with this, Star Wars. We got to. She needs more training. She picks up the lightsaber, kills that, gets Ezra up there, and all of a sudden, Ezra's saying he can't make the jump because the ship's leaving. And then she's like, I'll push you, and then I'll go with you. You'll pull me or whatever. Push, pull, shove, whatever. So she throws him up on there because she's so great in the force now that she knows how to do that. Hey, maybe she may be an anomaly. I mean, Anakin was. So, yeah. And I did like how they did bring up Kanan Jarrus. That's how I knew how to make the blade and the lightsaber. And that part from the lightsaber hilt was the secondary for Kanan Jarrus. I loved that. That was dope. Keep bringing up Kanan because Kanan was dope. Maybe he would make more sense. Maybe can we like resurrect Kanan Jarrus in this? But anyway, they throw him. Oh my God, it's so terrible. She force pushes him up, and then she's like, "I'm gonna go," and then Ahsoka's fighting her way up the steps. She's like, "No, I'm gonna help out." Man, you don't really mess this up. So she throws him and she's like, well, we need you up there and then we'll be coming or whatever. So you're replacing one and losing Hugh Rang, Sabine Wren, the Hermit Crab people, and Ahsoka for one person. Maybe, I don't know. Ezra is like, I don't know. He's like Paul Atreides. It feels like he is the chosen one. Okay. Luke would piece you up, bro. But so he gets on there. And there's a whole part that I just don't understand this part. Like, so they defeat him, they go back, and then all of a sudden it's about to. Ezra gets a whole thing where on the radio from one of the stormtroopers, the dead stormtroopers, because remember they're not. Those are the real guys on the ship. So the Night Sisters at any time could just, if I was a Night Sister and I was throwing them like, yo, let's just what we can do is we'll just blow everybody's brains out and just make them all night troopers or dark troopers or whatever you want to call them. Just resurrect all of them because they can't die. They can just keep reanimating. So I would get Mr. Golden Face from 300 to freaking be like, yeah, execute all of them, and then we'll just resurrect them, and it'd just be us, and they could just, they don't have any feelings. That'd be the smarter thing to do, because you got a zombie army. Okay, so they're about to dip, and then Ezra gets the message like, oh, thanks for the heads up. He gets a message like, yeah, they're en route, or they're in their way, or they're in the area. He gets the message. He's like, oh, thanks for the heads up. Pretty cool. I thought he was going to do something else. Like, yeah, he was going to take a ship, get them, and then when they went into hyperspace. But no, Ahsoka and them had to come up, and they were flying in her little ship. And apparently, Thrawn is smarter than everybody else in the room yet again and says, I knew your master. I knew you would do the same thing. So now I'm going here, and you're going to be stuck there. And then boom. They tried to stay with it. Gone. So then you go back down with the little horseshoe crab people. I'm going to mess them up all the time. The tortugas. But yeah, you had that, and then they're down there, and then Ahsoka's saying this thing to Sabine, like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is the way. Everything's the way in Star Wars now. This is the way. Because everybody's super peaceful. No urgency. With everything. Like, everything's going to work out. Trust me. Is it? I got to see some proof first. But okay, we got that. They're rolling with people. And they get to a point where, and this, I'm just like, and then you get to see Ezra. Well, let me go back a little bit. So all of a sudden, there's this ship that's exactly like Ahsoka's. Did I miss something? There was another ship that was on the Star Destroyer that was exactly like Ahsoka's. Pulls up. Harrison Duel is there with a bunch of the Rebel Alliance troops. They're all there because they allow this thing to come in without even asking. Nobody said anything or showed it. I just want to keep my stormtrooper helmet on to make it more captivating. He lands. And notice it's Ezra. So he lands, and this is a big thing. This is the rebels. This is a big thing. And yet again, it's so hollow. It's so hollow yet again. He gets off his wall. He's like, oh, no. Wait. Me, friend. No. And that was kind of cute and they all put their guns down because everybody knows who he is. They just haven't seen him in a while. Even though with the full beard, longer hair, and wearing a stormtrooper outfit. Still wouldn't trust it. But you had that moment and like Ezra, like, I'm home. I came home. All right. So then we skip back. Let's go back to the on the weird planet in the outer realms. So they're floating around and then they're just going with the little caravan. Everything's getting fixed for the hermit crab people. They're sitting there talking. And then that was pretty cool. Yeah, they're still talking. And then all of a sudden they show friggin' Balin and Shin. Hello, where we been out there whole episode? So now you got the whole friggin' weird situation because Ray Stevenson, rest in peace, has died. So his character is living on to go to this higher power that looks exactly like something out of Lord of the Rings. Dave Filoni, stop biting on other people's stuff. Come up with your own stuff. Because you got Ahsoka the White, we let that slide. You had the Boromir, Sauron thing going on, and we let that slide. But now you got something that straight up is looking something out of friggin' Mordor. What is that? And that's the higher power. So his character, you have to recast him now because he's obviously living on. And you got Shin Hati. She bad though. Shin Hati up there raising up the lightsaber to the friggin' random bandits. Has anybody asked them how they got there? Or are they indigenous? There's got to be a way they got to this planet because they're like the only other living beings besides the weird other creatures on there that have been there. They're kind of humanoid. Has anybody tried to ask them how they got there? Maybe. I don't know. So the samurai rebels over there. Okay, so Shin raised up the thing on little rat horse, rat dogs. And then that's all you see out of her. Did we even get any words? I don't know anything. She just raised it up. And then Balin's going off doing his thing. And then now you got So now here's my question. Because I have a lot of questions. Because it seems like Ahsoka is totally comfortable with the whole situation. So she should know something. Sabine now can use the Force. Which I don't like. But I could probably get used to it. Probably grow on me. But Sabine looks up in the sky. For some odd reason, there's light beaming down. And she says she feels something. And Ahsoka's like, what do you feel? She's like, I don't know. Never mind. And then Ahsoka walks up to the same part of the mountaintop. And she smiles. And all of a sudden, you see Mr. Anakin Skywalker. I did like that part. I did. I like Anakin. And I like Hayden Christensen. So, is he the higher power they were running from? Or is he the higher power to stop what Balin's doing? Nobody knows. But I really do think that there's going to be something about Anakin. I think there's going to be. You have to. Because after this is the biggest cliffhanger I've ever seen in my life. Because it's one of those you get when you get cliffhangers, you build up to and be like, oh no. But this is like, wait, which part was supposed to be in the cliffhanger? A little confused. But anyway, this video went a little long, didn't it? I'm sorry. But anyway, tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe down in the comments. And I do appreciate you for watching. And I want everyone to subscribe. One little click. Everyone. And I do mean everyone.